I'm starting to squat. I haven't squatted in like months actually. So this is me not having much strength at all for squatting. Mobility is definitely tightened up for sure. I haven't been under bar periods. I'm gonna bring you guys through basically what I would do getting right back into squatting, loading my back and everything else. So I'm gonna let you guys just like kind of literally go with the flow with me. I'm gonna just basically say exactly what I'm doing so you guys understand my approach to preparing myself to squat again, right? So again, like I'm in almost the same position most of you guys are in sometimes, whether you're just beginning to squat, getting better at it, or you've had a long break off of it. So this is what I do, and give you guys an idea. Just for somebody who's my size, mobility is huge. So my hips are super tight. So what I'm doing here is making sure that I'm focusing more on the kickback and the hip extension. So if you watch it from this way, it's me doing this. So throw my hip back. You do the same thing the other way. So basically you see what I'm doing. I'm loosening up my hips, so I'm pulling my hip back and breathing. Now we want to get hip flexion. You want to look like you're coming here and pushing in front so we can really extend the hamstring when we're pushing. So this will get your blood going too. You can start working both ways. Extension, flexion, extension, flexion. As relax. Same thing, you can see me more this way now. We'll work on coming in and out. So I'm always gonna work from the ground up. So even when I'm posing from the ground up, and I'm stretching or for mobility work for me, I go from the ground up. We're working on pushing the hip this way, the adduction part, and the abduction, pulling it up. Let it naturally come out. You see from this way. Anyway, so I have very tight shoulders, plus I'm a bigger dude. So coming under the bar and I have to like grab so far apart. So I wanna really start working on my mobility going back and forth. So overhead pass. And doing it enough where you can move freely back and over. And progressive overloading this is obviously the more mobility you get, the closer in you can go. Now again, you don't want to be so close that you feel your shoulder ripping out or your chest coming out of your socket, but I'll do this so my arms get really loose and I can really grip it even harder from the side. A couple things you can do as well too is literally just sitting down. Just literally just getting in to the squat position. My feet maybe a little outside shoulder width apart. Then generally rotate and work on just practicing getting down. Hands out, getting myself down in position and really trying to push myself back. So when I do this, I'm really trying to keep my back straight, pushing in and down, right? And really feeling your lats, really push in, making sure your knees are in line with your toes. Most of you guys will do it, and then you'll push your knees further outside your toes and have knee problems, right? So what we want to do is make sure that we just align our knees with our toes. So when I squat, they're aligned with my toes, and we sit in this position, sink into it more. And once you're in there, kind of go back and forth. You can also open up your stance a little bit more, get a little deeper. First, really open up our groin a bit, go back and forth, and really sit in, engage your core, keep your chest up, and come up. And we'll get onto the bar and start squatting little by little. So I know for a fact that this is going to be too light, so I'm going to start warming up with the heavier bar, but I'm just going to show you my range of motion and how much it plays a huge role that when you're actually a little more stronger with more dense muscles, you need a little more weight to help you into your actual squat position, right? So this is just a bar, and again, my hands are still a little wider than you normally are. So from here, it's going to rotate. So I have to really focus on getting down, pushing in, keep my head up. Because if I had weight on, it would just lower me down there a little easier. So we will put on a 45. Got the weight on. So I haven't squatted all, so I'm not gonna sit here and try and load this up because I have been in past days, on leg days, been heavier, been using heavier loads obviously. With rack pulls, we did rack pulls, leg press, hack squat. This being my second day, I'm just using this really for mobility, just get my body used to loading my spine again. Is it necessary? No, but I like squatting. It keeps you functional. See, it naturally pushes me down to the floor. Now you guys are probably watching my lower back kind of twinge underneath. I got crazy lower lordosis. As long as my core is engaged, it'll take off that strain on my lower back. So tight core all the way down. And I'm pressing through the ground like a leg press. So I'm pushing through. So you almost feel like my glutes on the way up too. My quads as well, pushing up and squeezing up without doing this at the top. I just want to get my body used to doing the movement, and then we can start to load the weight up a little more. So we're just going to do it to a comfortable weight. I'm not going to kill myself today doing squats at all. Excuse the light on this. I think it's actually pretty cool. It's pretty ambient. I'm Batman. Anyway, so we're just gonna keep it here. We're gonna go up to, we're gonna go up by probably maybe get to 3 plates. Or just like keep the reps pretty high and just get my body, used to being in that position and, work on my muscle endurance doing squats. So I would rather have the weight a little less and do more reps and exhaust myself that way than having a lot more weight when you're squatting. You're loading your spine. So no matter how good your core is, you're still loading your spine, compressing your spine. And doing that after a while will have effects on you. So it's really not completely necessary to squat. It's a very functional move to do to help you. But again, when you're doing squats, you don't have to go as heavy when you're just really doing this for aesthetic reasons. Let's be serious, right? So you want to be able to pump it out just like you're doing like bicep curls, whatever, with a good amount of weight that will exhaust your muscle to failure. Like you can't do anymore because it's pumped too much. Not I got 6 more reps in the tank. So let's move up on another plate. Why does this feel so heavy? Pretty tough set, just like training wise, just like challenging my heart rate with that kind of a load. I could have done like 5 more. I've been 5 really hard ass reps, like very hard. Like I said, again, I'm easing back into this. There's no point in not having your back loaded for like months and then you decide to be a f***ing hero. And even if you get all the weight up and all the weights and sets are clean, you'll be hating yourself next week. That workout I did with Mike was insane. Didn't load the weight that much poundage on your back, but it was work. So there's other ways you can really do this without having to really smash your spine. But again, I like squatting and I want to keep that as part of my movement because it's really good functional movement for you. You know what I mean? That'll translate to every other movement you do. So if you can control the weight and press the weight, squat the weight the way you should, fully engaged, core, everything, you'll find that your other movements will be that much easier. All right, let me do it again. Jeez. So there you guys have it, man. That's what I do. That's like the approach I take getting back into doing squats. Taking a good slow approach, letting your body get adjusted and adapted first before you start loading up a bunch of weight. So I gave it to you guys. Now thinking about like after stretches from doing squats or, you know, lower body, your regular stuff. You know, crossing your leg over, pulling your hip in, you know, your knees, pulling these in. Literally doing Romanian deadlift position and keep your back straight, touching your toes. So basically, you know, at the end of doing like lower body, you want to just stretch the priority. Now rolling out is pretty good too. You do that if you want, but I suggest when you do roll to that position that's really bugging you, stop in that position until the, you know, the little bit of the pain starts to simmer down, and then roll again. Don't just keep rolling over it like it's dough. Okay. And then like static stretching, you know, work from the ground up. Your calves, you know, your hamstrings, quads, your groin, hip flexors, lower back, they move up. But you don't have to do the entire body, just stretch the priority. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video, guys. You know I'm gonna come with that Talladega Transparent Vulnerable Truth. And guys, grab my ebook. It is out right now. Head to my site, jonni.shreve.com. You can also get online coaching there as well too, whether it's one-time plan or a recurring plan. If you get a phone consult, I'll deduct the consult off any package you pick, not including the ebook. Everything I've been putting out, philosophies and everything else are in that book. There's so much valid information in there, guys. There's so much value and information in that book, guys. Grab it right now. Use my code Jonni15, 50% off Power 30 cookbook. Also, guys, use my code Jonni30 at Let's Get Checked, guys. Yes, Let's Get Checked. I really believe in having that access to having, you know, getting your hormones checked, your blood work checked, accessible. The blood work, keeping up and making sure you're healthy from the inside out. Make sure you guys add me on Instagram. _JonniShreve_. Send me foodie pics, progress pics, training clips. I'll repost for you guys. You know how it is. Iron sharpens iron. Progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.